Hello there, internet. Hello there, grubs
What do
and
you need?
scrubs. I had something clever that I was going to say there, but I don't remember what it is. I do like to sniff loudly, though, at the beginning of streams and at the beginning of conversations, just to kind of signpost my crippling addiction to cocaine and let people know exactly what to expect. I was going to do some lower Kuras. It's, it's time. Not souls. Oh, okay, he's got the...
I'll put that to good
Yeah,
use.
we gotta skibbity swap the Sigma sticks. Okay, well, that's the thing that happens. And that's why I didn't want souls. This character just can't deal with not in this like MF stuff. That's fine. We'll just restart it. And I don't really know that I'm like in the mood to even like run ball, but like I'll give it one more shot. We'll see if we get a more reasonable keep. And
Afternoon.
maybe I'll do a Countess run with the Sorceress or something, or maybe some lower caress. That was what I wanted to do, but I saw this. Oh yeah. Why am I doing this on Plays 8? There's no reason to be doing this. That's why there's souls like... Yeah, because I've gone through here with souls before and not gotten like waxed like that. How many souls are back there? There's unravelers behind those souls. There has to be. Because they're just not even taking damage. I fucking hate the Worldstone Keep.
At your service.
Good afternoon. Not here.
It's like, when you talk about difficulty, the funny thing is that like, half the time, this is one of the easiest dungeons in the game. Because, like, this dungeon has there's nothing like, okay, this dungeon has no, like, smart tricks to play. All this dungeon can do is, like, scream in your face like a 12-year-old. Where it's just like, no! You can't get past! My souls do 8 trillion lightning damage, and they have fanaticism, and there's Stygian dolls behind them, and it's just screaming in your face until you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, man, you win, just please lower your voice. Like, so when it's in a mood to just scream in your face, there's literally no point interacting with it. It is an uninteractable challenge. It's just a brick wall, right? Because it literally has nothing else intelligent beyond that to throw, like, to challenge you with. It's just like, it is either that or you basically just walk through for free. So, the overwhelming number of your experiences like actually playing this dungeon are going to be like just doing this, right? And I say that like as I get. Yeah, okay, we just save and exit there. But this is the thing. It's like when the game gives you a challenge like that, that's not actually a challenge. And I know like I caused the problem by running through, but it's like, dude, I'm not.
Hello.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the game needs to respect my time.
What do you need?
But this is kind of like something that does piss me off about the Terror Zones, that it's just like, I don't know. It's such a dumb mechanic that I think was genuinely designed by people who like don't actually play the game or understand how people play the game, because it's just like, who gives a fuck
Not
that
here.
the Throne of Destruction is a Terror Zone? In fact, why am I even wasting my time with this shit? Like, it's already the highest level area in the game, can drop anything when it's not a fucking Terror Zone. So it's just like, oh, okay. Wow. So I could spend like a half an hour, you know, to get a drop that 90% of the time is going to drop nothing different to what like Mephisto would drop. It's just going to take me like so much longer to actually like get to the boss and get the drop. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like I genuinely feel like the Terror Zones, for the most part, I like it feels like they were picked by a stupid person. Rather, no, and this is the unfortunate and cynical truth, it feels like they were picked to incite like FOMO, basically. Because like there's a couple of Terror Zones that are genuinely amazing, and an enormous number of them that are just hot garbage. So, but what I don't understand about setting it up like that is it's like why? Who benefits from that? Like I as a player, okay, like if Diablo don't know that the like fucking dad age people who make up the entire player base of this game aren't going to like wake up at 4 a.m. to grind Terrazone Mephisto because that's just when it fucking happens. Like like what do you tell people at that point? It's like it's the wrong mechanic. It doesn't like it shouldn't exist in this game. Just like give us decent Terror Zones. That like don't force us to play the game on a fucking timetable, because it's like thank you. Like I just like genuinely don't understand. It's like it legitimately just makes the game worse. Because now you just feel bad about this mechanic that like is potentially useful, but you never actually interact with it because like what's the point? I mean, look, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go look, right? I'm gonna go like let's take a look at the Terrazone calendar and let's see what like just how like unrealistic this is. So the next Durance of Hate is 7 a.m. on a fucking weekday morning. Like, you guys can tell I keep weird hours, but like, even I can't fucking be up at that time. Like, and free to game, if you see what I'm saying. Then it's like, oh, Countess, possible Terror Zone at 8 a.m., weekday morning, just as stupid. Travancore at 4 p.m. on a weekday. Where's something that, like, you know, someone can actually, like, play who isn't like a homeless person playing on their phone? Secret Cow level? Maybe? Was it like midnight? Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, I suspect I'm just kind of getting the finger because I'm in a bad, you know, I'm not in a time zone that like syncs up particularly well with it. But it's just like, hey, you know, I don't know, man. Why do I get fucked for just like living in the wrong time zone? But you see what I mean about like the the difficulty of like the uninteractable difficulty. It's like the game is challenging me so much now, right? It just threw this terrible challenge at me, and this is just like the most high octane gameplay. It's so fun, right? When like realistically, like what the game actually did was say fuck off and do something else. Like this dungeon is just RNG unplayable for now, and you can either spend the next 10 minutes just re-rolling it and hoping it, like, you know, wants to be played, or you like do the sensible thing and take the hint and just go do something else. And to be honest, if I hadn't already started this stream, the go do something else would be not playing this game. But, you know, this is both kind of one of the benefits of like doing things on a stream and also one of the drawbacks. Like sometimes if the game really pisses you off, like the best thing to do is to just say, hey, I'll just go do something else, right? Because it sucks to feel like you're a prisoner of something that like doesn't respect your time, or you know. But like I've kind of no life games in the past to the point where I've like had that feeling, and it's not a good feeling. But also, oh, okay. Let me get my keys and get them now. Otherwise, I'm liable to forget them outright. But yeah, I don't even know why I want to do Worldstone Keep with the Amazon. As I say, even if it is Terra Zoned, it's still a complete waste of everyone's time. Aside from for EXP, and you know, that's only... But yeah, I should have just been doing the pits. That said, I don't really want to do the pits, and I did actually want to play Loa Kura, so I'll take it as the game doing me a solid. Can you fuck? No way. another lacerator. I told you, like, good uniques could just freaking randomly drop here.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, you can get 100 on a small charm. That's just not good enough. Bro, why were you fucking in there? Like, what were you even doing in there? Every other fucking one of your asshole kind came out to die in a somewhat fucking civilized manner. You just have to be different. You have to be a cunt about it. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. What a find, though. Like, these things do not grow on trees. And as far as I know, this is like a best in slot weapon for a throw barb. Purely for the amp damage. It is so freaking strong. But honestly, like, to me, this is getting close to being like just a best in slot one-handed weapon for like a lot of freaking stuff. And it's like, yeah, it has hit cause monster to flee, but like I can live with that. 33% chance to proc amp damage is just straight up one of the best affixes you can have on a melee weapon. No contest, no muss, no fuss. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, even if it did no damage, just using it as like a tool to just proc amp damage is like potentially worth statting to use it by itself. Yeah, we got the Sunder Charm, and like obviously Sorceress just like doesn't care so much about the Sunder Charm than like any other character because, you know, sorceresses just get to like live a good life and be happy. Like, they just have permission from the devs for that. So, like, you get a crap ton of just like free cold resist, I'm pretty sure, for just like specking into Blizzard or something. So it's like, yeah, that's not even that bad, considering I'm in like 100% MF gear. Like, the only resistance I have are like the Maras, these boots. Damn, this is actually like a nice little ring for like a melee MF. Like, yeah, both rings are MF. No resistance on that, no resistance on the Shaco. It's literally just the Maras as far as I know. Oh, and then the Rhyme, obviously, yeah. And yet we're not just getting like one-shotted.
Good day.
But yeah, so it's just like, oh, okay, like I already have like the best like synergy with a Sunder Charm because, you know, my skills already give like free reduction to cold resistance without having to have any like, you know, crazy
Greetings.
end game setups or like stacking you know, what are they called, those charms, like crazy. And then it's just like, you also like barely even get the downside of like having your resistance lowered. I mean, you do, but you just like obviously, you know, it is numerically it's lowered just as much as anyone else's is. It's just that. That's just way less of a concern to you. Probably won't keep doing this for too much longer. I'm already yawning my head off. I really hate that you can't just like that you have to walk through the gold. Like you can't just kind of teleport on top of it. But I mean, I guess, you know, hey, look,
I can't
there's
carry
something that,
anymore. I am overburdened.
you know, teleport isn't freaking perfect at. Honestly, I'm kind of like so hard up for just like resistance charms right now that that's almost tempting, which is embarrassing. It's terrible.
I am overburdened.
Ah, with the 40 AIS, if only it just had like a good chunk of ED. Oh well. Where did that circlet go? There was a circlet, wasn't there? There was, okay. Crazy. Grabs this
I am overburdened.
gold. Alright, check the circlet in a moment. Back in just a second.
carry anymore.
Oh, that's right. I was going to ID this. Honestly, like, at level 65, not exactly, but I was gonna say, not the worst, not the worst. You know, would be nicer if there were plus dex, but hey, plus strength is potentially useful. You know, if you view plus strength as essentially sometimes 3 plus vitality, it starts to look much more enticing. Bink, bink. It's funny, I was thinking about doing a rares through hell run, like nothing, you know, crazy challenging, like, you know, just muling a bunch of like cool rares onto a character and just trying to create like a whole gear setup for them with rares. And
Greetings.
like thinking about it the other day, I was like, I kind of wish I'd like held the bear for that. Because I have a rare polearm that I'd be like more than happy to take through hell. But like I feel like it would do fine on the Fireclaw Druid, but I'm not so sure how it would do on anything else. Like because I
can't
don't think
carry
they
anymore.
are that as demanding weapon wise, right? Like you want damage obviously, and you want attack speed, and you want attack rating. Is this just the normal like arcanas? Yeah, crazy stuff comes out of this freaking log though. Always wild to see some of it. Yeah, we'll check the rest.
Good day.
It's crazy the games your head plays with you to try to make sense of like RNG. Like because I found good runes, a Burr and a Sur rune, on my kind of like first roll, I suppose, of Lower Kurast. or one of my first rolls. The first my map I rolled and like properly grinded for like a good number of hours. I got 2 really nice high runes from it, and because I haven't seen any like really nice like rune drops since then, like my head is saying, it's the map, re-roll the map, it's the map, and it's just like all that matters is like how often I'm popping chests. Does not matter. Like, the chests, like I know like that the chests are not any different like based on the map, but for some reason I just can't shake that thought like from my head. All right, where did that Rao rune go? I did definitely put another Rao rune in there, didn't I? Or was it the soul? Oh no, it was this one. Alright. Yeah, maybe we'll just cube these 3 up just to make some space. And these 2, because I actually want to start like stashing some. I always stash them in this tab though. Yeah, Rao rune actually like super welcome because I just tend to cube all of mine away. And I don't mean like cubing them up to turn them into like other runes. I mean this just opening sockets and stuff like that. This is why I would kind of like to do some Countess runs just to get like just to get like those nice like hell rune drops that she can do. The thing is, I need to roll, or I don't need to roll it, but I need to explore the Countess Tower, and the ideal is to literally just teleport straight through the whole tower on like players 1 and just kind of drop on the Countess's head, skipping everything else, and just like farm specifically the Countess as quickly as possible. And I know if I do that, I'll get way more runes than I will here. But obviously, the odds of getting something really amazing are... Well... Oh, I forgot freaking keys again. I'm such a goofball. But yeah, the odds of getting something like really amazing are not that great.
Yes.
I'm just talking about how like, I'm so desperately like hard up for resistance charms, and like if that had been anything but poison, that would have gone in the stash 100%, no question. What the heck is that? I see so few of those scepters that like I just never remember what they're called. I also don't play Paladin that much because like there's no question that Paladins are good. It's just like in the old days, if I wanted to play melee, like back when barbarians were actually good, if I wanted to play melee, I would play a barbarian. And then like even after Whirlwind got borked, like I still kind of found barbarian like more enticing, I guess. Just something about it. And you know, by the time I kind of wanted to play with like something different than like, you know, Whirlwind or whatever, which was like definitely my favorite melee build, I would just start like messing around with druids. And druids kind of just feel like worse paladins in melee that like, you know, worse but more interesting and more fun weapons, I suppose. Though maybe not so much now with all the rune words and stuff. But like, you know, you have to remember that like this was a time, like you know, that I definitely played in a time where like there just were not that many good one-handed weapons. Like, if you were like rich, you could make a Fury, which has no synergy with Paladin. You could make a Silence, which is a really, like, we've been through Silence before. The ED roll is just too fucking low. You could get a Lightsaber if you weren't particularly rich with lightsabers. Like, yeah, it's good enough, but you're not gonna feel super, like, the damage is kind of tepid by hell. Especially, you know, if you're not essentially on players one, you know, if you're actually doing like group stuff, it starts to feel like a bit
I am
feeble.
overburdened.
And then it was like, upgrade from that would be like B star, which is like kind of a very minor upgrade damage wise. And if you wanted to upgrade from that, like if you actually wanted to do like the kind of damage that people feel entitled to do nowadays, like that, you know, very cheap rune words can give you. If you genuinely wanted to do that kind of damage as a paladin, you basically needed Schaefer's hammer.
Yes?
You'll know how fucking rare that thing is. Or Griswold's weapon, but then you would need to slot really good stuff in it. Because Griswold's set was around back then. It's just as freaking awesome as it is now. I just, you know, cheekily grab that skill up before we come over here, because it is a skill up. Definitely. Hold on. Yeah, definitely. Definitely has that cold skiller aroma. Completely unmistakable. Alright. Whoa, okay. Sometimes you can
Good day.
definitely get the smell of a cold skiller. So like the problem is like when I learned to like sniff out cold skillers, the person who had them, they were just like cold skillers of greed. So they had that, you know, the greed accord in there. And yeah, you know, sometimes when I smell of greed, I think I'm smelling cold skiller, so it's just the way it is. Bit disappointing, but the next one. Like, I don't know, I feel like I've had really good luck with skillers, to be completely honest. I haven't exactly gotten the ones I want, but, you know, I've gotten, like, mostly useful ones, like traps, poison and bone, electrical, fire. I think the only, like, really bad skiller I've gotten... Oh, I've gotten, like, 2 Warcry skillers. I think the only really bad skiller I've gotten is, curses. Because it's just, like, you know... like, duration is nice on curses, but, like, you're not using that much charm space to have, like, slightly more long-lasting curses. Although maybe on low resist, who knows? I don't know how that scales, but I don't think curse skillers are in any sort of demand. So that's kind of the only really bad one that I've gotten. But most of them have been pretty damn nice. Just kind of for stuff I don't really play.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Nice. Dropping me some breastplate is breastplate. You absolute assholes. Okay, so the problem game is like, I understand this is like, you know, you're trying to get on my tits. The problem is I'm playing a sorceress. Me not killing everything on this freaking map
I can't carry anymore.
is literally because I don't want to, because I have better things to do. But if these guys are going to be jerks,
I can't carry anymore.
you know, I don't mind committing some jerk genocide. Jerk chicken, though, is always dry. And it cannot be prepared fresh every day. That's true of all Jamaican food, by the way. I'm not that I'm Jamaican, I don't know, but I've heard it from authorities. The people who do know.
Greetings.
Ruby Jewel further? Weird. The game just isn't even listening to me. Really cheeky. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Lower Cross just puts me in a good mood. It's just kind of like, as like a single player person, it's almost like you're just kind of laying the groundwork to like potentially have some really cool like adventure when it comes to like gearing. You know, either get to like make an item that you normally wouldn't be able to make or have never really used before, or just look at an item and be like, you know what? Now that I can make that, I can think exactly what I want to do with it. And like if I can get my grubby mitts on a poison Sunder Charm, I would be very, very tempted to respec my Necro into a Poisoner, because even go Poison Dagger, even go full meme, you know, give him a dagger. Obviously, he's still like the problem with Poison Dagger is like you're still gonna have Poison Nova, and you know you can't apply the same. Like, I don't think you can apply two separate poison DOTs at once. Like, I don't think there's any point, like, running up and stabbing something if you just Nova'd it. But maybe, I could be wrong.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, maybe I did. I'm gonna take a look at this, because, you know, elite base, rare, always cool, and, yeah, +2 passive magic is nice, but, yeah. The rest of it's kind of bunk. Always makes me sad when I see runes come out, but you know, like drop me an Io rune, hell, drop me an Am rune that I can like roll some blood gear with. Actually, that's something I really should have done with the bear. Was like just roll some blood belts, roll some blood gloves, and just like try to find ones with good resistance. Because like, who doesn't want more crushing blow? Who doesn't want, you know? Absolute asshole. But we're only coming up here because we have the EXP shrine, so you know, I'm happy to see another boss pack. Yeah, might as well just kind of prowl around a bit, just play out this EXP shrine.
I am overburdened.
Amen. One more boss pack. And not even a bad little chunk of EXP there. I really want to like learn the map better than I know it, Because it seems like there's just a lot of stuff, like even just around this waypoint, that is definitely worth popping with telekinesis before going to the houses with the super chests. And just random chests in Lower Kuras can just drop. Like, I've genuinely just had, like, oop, unique amulet, oop, unique ring. Just come out of some, like, random ass, like, player's 8 chest on Lower Kuras, or, like, you know, those caches or the logs or whatever. Just random bits.
I can't carry anymore.
I want to look at rare armors, because, like, if I do rare only, like, that's actually going to be, like, the hardest thing to slot, like, find just some, like, even, like, just a passable rare armor. Like, you're not going to find anything amazing, you know, but you could just find something with, like, a little bit of resist, a little bit of life, maybe a socket or something, so you can, like, get more resist in there, because that's ultimately all you're going to want from your gear. This really all rares kind of have to offer, apart from, like, hit recovery, I guess, like IAS. Comes up with small charm. Yeah. That's a lot of fire resist. Like, with the free extra MF. Yeah, I might hold on to them.
Good day.
Yeah, it's a shame it's only 10 run walk, but also half freeze duration, which is not the worst. Oh, okay, I see. I already had this one with hit recovery. Lower MF roll, though. Anyway. Look, boots with good reses. Always got time for that stuff. Man, look how scary the curse is to the sorceress on players 8. Actually, it's a little bit scary when you, like, run into a spot
I
like
can't
that,
carry
but
anymore.
oh, okay, that's cool. Heart carver. Decent little unique. Fun to look at anyway. And just comes out of that freaking log. I swear, that's like, that unique, that log costs up uniques. Like, that's definitely going in the stash. And yeah, look at this little damage stick with its 220 ED roll and adds damage and a big chunk of deadly strike and ignores target's defense. Like, you can freaking clear hell with that. It's crazy. Like, it doesn't even need to be on a barbarian. It's just good damage. And I fear that kind of just doesn't belong anymore. I'm not that down bad for MF. Was a rather, like, drunken bit of pathing. And make sure there's nothing being, like, sneaky there. The problem with the lower Caress farm is like you have to find something to like motivate yourself to just keep grinding it because like it is not like you can straight up if you have the time you can just be like I'm just gonna farm Mephisto until he like pays something decent. Like something where I won't feel like I've completely wasted my time, running this today. And if you genuinely just run Mephisto like long enough, unless you've been playing the game for a long time, like odds are you'll get some drops, even if it's just like like the way you're just kind of like, oh well, it's a Shaco, it's a Scalders, even if like let's say you just everyone you want to make that would need a Shaco or a Scalders already has them, you just don't need them anymore, they're completely like excessive to requirements. Like you're at the point where you literally like leave Shakos on the ground, like I don't know. To me, it would like it still kind of feels cool to like see gold Shaco or gold rusted armor or something like that. So, but you can't be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay on lower Karust until a high rune drops. Like you could genuinely have to sleep multiple times before that happens, even if you were like no lifing and hard grinding it like most of the day. And I don't think many people have the. I know I certainly don't. the mentality to just stay on a task like this for like an entire day. Unless like you can definitely get some like lucky drops here that aren't high runes. And that can kind of be the stuff that like keeps you coming back, you know, like just like, oh, we got this decent jewel, got this charm, got this even just this cool red, right? Especially now, because it's just like I feel like even the EXP is just falling off completely, which is to be honest, you know, I can't complain about that. Like when the character's level 91. I really need to go to the ancient tunnels if I want EXP. But odds of good runes dropping in the ancient tunnels are kind of low. I have had some decent rune drops in the pits though, crazily enough. This is kind of tempting to just go back to the pits with this on. Like, the pits have been so addicting.
I can't carry anymore.
Ooh, hold on a second, hold on a second. No rum walk, but lightning fire 3832. And MF?
I can't.
Alright, alright. I'm sold. Ooh, and a lightning resist small charm. Okay. Spoiled, apparently, that's what I am. I hate those freaking boxes in this area that like open really slow. Like they're trying to fucking tease you. It's like da 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 da. As it like slowly freaking like like throws out a fucking, you know, trash item. Cold fire and MF. But yeah. You see, you know how like things got charges in this game is like people who played enchant sorceresses like just complain and complain and complain to have items that had charges of like combat skills, right? So they were like, you know, I could have like multiple shot with my enchant. But then it's just like they made them so bad and like so expensive. It's just like, what's the point? Like level 3 multi-shot. In fairness, though, I would rather have level 3 multi-shot than, you know, auto attack as an enchant sorceress. Like, that's definitely more DPS on a group. But yeah, these boots and this charm, like, let's, you know, just accept these gifts and, like, have a good life. Alright, you know what, give me another Row. Why you do this to me?
Hello.
Hello! Get off my amethyst, you fucking old twat. That's fine. Doesn't need to be pretty. See, like, I should be, like, IDing stuff like this. So, like, you know, if I found like a good dual resist helmet with life or something, like that's gonna be my character's helmet for going through hell. Ooh, okay. Love a small charm.
Impossible.
Birds want the smoke. Yeah. Yep. Bombs. Oh yeah. Can't complain about a cold damage charm that's just like free, because even the teensiest tickle of cold damage can be some really like beneficial CC or a melee character or a physical Zon, presumably also for a Blades. And now that's something I'm really kind of tempted to try now. The only problem is like I need another Atlas. Bruh, can you like just go away for a second? I just want to pick up a key. Oh look, you replaced the juvie that I had to use. Polite monster. Lower Crust is like can be weirdly Moorish sometimes, even if it's not really dropping anything. Just because it's like some of like the lucky drops you get here, and I'm not even talking about the possibility of like high runes for like amazing rune words and blah blah blah. Because like the reality is like a lot of the best rune words, like, you know, it's not like I can just be like, oh wow, look, I just found this high rune and now I can make this amazing thing. It's usually like, well, then you need another high rune, which if you don't have, you may never get. But like, I'm not complaining about it, by the way. This is what this is literally what I signed up for, the single player experience where you can't trade and the game can just refuse to drop certain things for you. But as I say, even not even worrying about the runes in Lower Kuras, like some of the stuff you can get here that's just like so nice quality of life, you know? Like whether it's just like good rare gloves, or not even good, but just like slottable, useful, rare boots, rare gloves. Like I would have loved to have those boots when I was doing that druid. I was running with Natalia's, which are like, I mean, the run walk is really nice, but the resists on them are like super low. Wait, where were the... Yeah, these are the really good ones. It's like, this would have been so nice. Because, like, lightning resist was exactly what I needed. It would have saved me the Rao rune in my hat. Or I could have put the, a Thal rune in the hat to get some, like, then pretty much would have just been, like, done. Lightning, cold, fire. I really don't like target gambling in this game, though. Like, I like to gamble... when it's like, okay, now I need to spend some gold. I'm gonna go do a bunch of gambling. I heard a jewel, yeah. Okay, that's a lot of res. Shame they're all bunk from what I can tell. And yeah, I know, in theory, you could find some, like, this could be some, like, godlike roll. And, like, almost just to, like, dick with me, it's like, it's not godlike, but it's not terrible. What I was saying, like, I know you can upgrade these to elites, but, like, come on. Like, how good would the roll have to be? Oh my god, game, can I click on the jewel? Apparently, I somehow clicked on it already. God, that was so frustrating. That's not terrible. Considering you can slot that in ways that you can't slot a diamond. It has its uses, but... Key, please. I completely forgot the game dropped me a lacerator from just some random mob, so I cannot exactly complain about doing lower crust. Actually, very tempted to do a throw bob now because I've got like a good number of items that a throw bob would love. Yeah, baby, bombs. Nice. I don't like large charms though. I swear I don't have good luck with large charms. I don't think anyone has good luck with large charms. I think the best large charms I've seen were like, some like max damage attack rating. I think I've got maybe like one resistor, which is pretty
I
decent.
can't carry anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ID some of this stuff. Alright. You on your bike. Armor. On your bike. Elite sword. On your bike. Ah, belt. Alright. That's definitely worth a look. This area can be so dense sometimes. Oh no.
Yes?
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Very, very nice. Okay. That's kind of made the night. Lacerator and a Vexerin. Can't complain. As well as some, like, you know, charms and boots and stuff that I feel like I would definitely use. But just as I was doing that, so I kind of went quiet for a little bit because I was eating something. I wanted to, like, move my mic away and not bother anyone tuned in. But what I was thinking, and I think this could be genuinely, like, a seriously fun challenge, but would be like, okay, so, like, imagine I just, like, hero edit a, like, naked level 75 barbarian in hell.
Good day.
You know, no gear, no nothing. And then it's just like, again, it's got the right 2 resists, but it's just got, like, a lot of other junk and, like, not enough funk in the trunk, you know? Like, it needs, like, oh, okay, even if it is just 3 all res, that's still, like, you know what, I still like it. That's still a 15 res small charm. No, it's a 12 res small charm. And 9 res on, like, the important ones, but with the lightning damage as well. What a nice find this was. Second Vex rune. The first one dropped in, the first one dropped in the pits, I believe. But yeah, so see, like, okay, and now to gear that character, that, like, completely naked character, you know, I just can do, like, I don't know, 1 day's worth of lower Karas farming. And I can mule everything over to that character, whether I gamble it with the money I made here, or whether I find it. And, you know, it could be, like, mule over rune bases or something, and then, like, maybe he could just, like, do some counters farming or something with just, like, whatever, like, makeshift crap gear I can, like, get over to him. Like, whatever it is, like, you just try to come up with a plan, right? So it would, because I think it would just be, like, really fun to be identifying everything you find in Lower Karas, like everything that has potential. You know, like, this could have potential for that character. It's not even that bad. It's got some, like, flat attack rating, it's got some life, it's got some fire res, and it's got a socket so you can, like, chuck some lightning res in there. You know, we're talking about for some, like, challenge run budget build, but then it's like, oh, you know, you could find this, but, like, it's Alders, it's not that great. But, you know, for you know, it depends on the character, right? But, like, it would just be really fun for me to, like, kind of just grind lower crust and, like, identify, like, pretty much every potentially interesting thing that I find, like any, like, elite base, any charm, even just, like, non-magical, like, non-rare amulets, for example. It could be, like, a prismatic amulet, it could be plus skills. Like, I genuinely think if you just did that for a day, like, you would probably have a, like, passable gear setup, even if it was just, like, you know, even if it was just kind of like
Yes?
focus primarily on like certain items. Because you also have the weapon and the armor racks. And like there's a lore base, right? But obviously anything you do like that that's like supposed to be a gearing challenge, like you have to do it for a melee character. Because it just ceases to be a challenge if you can like play a summoner or a caster or something. But yeah, it would be cool just to like also just give myself an excuse to literally grind lower Karas for an entire day. Like it's dual purpose. It's like, yeah, I could find some like really amazing drop. You know, like this
I
is an
can't carry
elite
anymore.
base, but like how often would you pick one of these up? I was kind of hoping it would be like, you know, kind of good, just to sort of prove my point. But yeah, obviously, RNG being what it is. But
I
like, you know,
can't
even
carry
so like
anymore.
this is an elite. This could be a cruel axe of quickness. It's not, but it could be. Huh? Or like, this is an elite. This could be a cruel axe of quickness. It's not, but it could be. See? You know, this could, I don't know, not have a completely useless effects. Yeah, here we go. You know, this could be your mercenary weapon, right? It's not going to be, but like, hey, even that on a mercenary, like the mercenary's not going to be able to equip it because it needs 210 strength. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even that's better than your mercenary being empty-handed. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another. This could be another cruel quickness. It's not, but it's actually starting to look like a weapon that you could possibly clear the game with. Like, probably not super happily, but like, if that was the best you got, and I guarantee you it wouldn't be if you farmed this all day. Like, if you farmed this all day and you genuinely did, like, identify, like, everything, like, even the kind of, like, magic elite bases and stuff like that, you would eventually find some, like, you would at least find, like, a decent weapon. armor and stuff like that can be a little bit more dicey. And even things like, you know, picking up all the gems and stuff. So like, you know, maybe you just get some like gems that the guy can like cube up, and you know, maybe like cook up some like gloves or something for, because obviously they won't be able to do that because they won't have the cube.
I am
But
overburdened.
you know, it's the gearing challenge of like here you go, here's a weapon you can, you know, if you absolutely have to, you could clear the game with this. I wouldn't want to have to, but you could with like a berserker or something. Yeah. And then we got this like elite base with +3 to fanaticism. You know, like if you find a base, it's like then they can use their like chassis imbue, but they're only gonna have one because you know they're kind of naked in hell, like they didn't get all their nightmare stuff. But like here we go. Here's more. Here's more just like elite bases. And you know, MF amulet, nothing special, but hey. Terrible, but you gotta go through the bad ones. There's another elite. And of course you could just get lucky. Like I just got lucky this morning and, you know, found a lacerator, which is like, if you can't clear hell with a lacerator as a melee character, you got problems. Yeah. Bone knife, elite dagger base.
Good day.
I'm kind of just doing this as like almost like a test run, but I would almost hate to find something really good. But I'm 100% certain if you did this like for a whole day. But it's like, do you just put on MF gear and just kill all the mobs and hope for like, you know, some good drops? Because you can get some genuinely good drops here. Or do you focus on the chests? Which can mean a lot of time spent identifying stuff that just may not measure up, you know? Get out of here, you bums. Yeah, but like one thing you wouldn't lack for is like gems. And if you genuinely just like identify all these like rings, all these amulets, all this stuff, like you will eventually get a gear setup that like you can just clear the game with. You know, even if you just like imagine that was like you know, 24 fire resist, right? And then your other one was like, you know, plus, plus vitality and some lightning resist, and then you got an all resist amulet, and then you got this, and then you got that. Ooh, kinda like that. Kinda gonna hold on to that. But yeah, the only thing I would say is like, I just gonna give myself a Raven Frost if I do something like that. And I know, unless I mean, if the character's gonna use a sword and shield, then you just farm what you need to get a rhyme from the countess and be fine. Like, so like, let's say I found this, right? And then like throughout the day, I like farm any like, bits of amethyst together.
Good
You
day.
know what I'm saying? And then like if I get an am, like roll some sockets into it, and now it's like, ooh, look, maybe it's a potential hustle base, and like, let's say the character's like a paladin, and it's like, oh, look, all you need is a weapon to swing. So like, literally go like holy shock, and then just like grind your way through the Den of Evil, and then like grind the Countess a little bit until you can like make a hustle. At which point you can just use your respec to like spec into like a more standard Zeal setup. So the option is there to do things like that. I think the only thing I really wouldn't look at would be bows. But like jabs, 100%. Like it's almost too easy if you allowed it to be a Jabazon, because like that's a weapon that clears hell as a Jabazon. As stupid as that sounds. So I guess a Jabazon kind of just counts as a caster too much. But yeah, it would have to be like, you know, any barb but a singer.
Yes.
Any paladin but like, you know, Holy Bolt FOH / Hammerden. Like, yeah, fair enough. Holy Shock and Holy Fire are not as gear dependent as most attack skills. But, also like a third of the shit in the game is immune to them, so... It's like, yeah, it's a good chunk of free damage, but if you don't have good base damage on that as well... Yeah, here we go, we got some... elite jabs there. Didn't turn out to be nothing. Got some phase blade action. Doesn't turn out to be nothing. But this like okay. Sure. I do want to look at that Stygian film, so oh, and the Silver Edge Axe.
Good day.
I can't carry anymore.
Like, if that wasn't poison resist, I'd be very happy to have that helmet. As crazy as it sounds. It has like nothing impressive on it, but it just has what you want it to have, which is just like it's got some resist, it's got a little bit of life. Like none of the rolls are great, but the resist rolls are high. Yeesh, they just got deleted. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I'll take a Malrune. Yeah, one thing you would need to do here is like make sure you actually have your cube all freed up, you know. Make sure your stash is not all full of junk like mine currently is. But yeah, Vex rune, Mal rune, can't complain. I know Mal is not really considered a high rune, but I'm pretty happy with it. And honestly, even another freaking Ral rune, I can't bitch about it. Cube some of those up. Just refill these like low runes that just like they just kind of get used. Spirit base. Elite Base. Take a look. I remember having a cruel... No wait, I think it was a ferocious Highland Blade of Quickness. By one of my barbarians, like... It was pretty decent. It was rolled using that like cube recipe or something, so like it was magic, but it had 2 sockets. I can't even remember what I put in the sockets. I think, well, one of them would have definitely been an Earth Rune, because back then, Earth Runes were... I don't know if they actually were, but they were reputed to be bugged, and it genuinely seemed like if you just stuck an Earth Rune in your sword, like, attack rating just stopped to be relevant. Four socket. That's definitely not keeping. Okay, and we just have like an absolute fucking swarm of elites here, which I love. Like, bring it on. Give me drops. Give me XP. Where do you think you're going?
I can't carry anymore. Impossible.
Grrr.
I can't.
I knew that was going to be bonk. I don't know why. I didn't know it. I didn't know shit. I just got lucky. But yeah, can't like I don't know. It's just one of those things that like I can't remember. Like it is so rare that I will do like a good grind session in this game and like not find some cool stuff. That can go. I don't really like. I understand why Ancient's Pledge is so valued, but like MF on Rhyme. Oh yeah, why am I? No reason to keep that. But yeah, like these are the boots I found here today. Like these would definitely go to my, you know, character. Well, not these, but the where are they? They're these ones. Like, that's cool. That's literally your endgame boots. Like, you've got good boots now. Like, like, yeah, you know, if you're a melee character, it would be better to have Gore Rider or Goblin Toe. But like, there's no reason why you couldn't then potentially like go on to farm that or something. Like, as long as you can just play in hell and kill stuff. Though I feel like that would probably have to be like a rule where it's like you can't go back to Nightmare to just like farm the Fist or something. Like once you've got your lower Cuirass gear, like you have to try to actually like take it through the game. And it's like, yeah, you could stop to like farm the pits or something, but like the pits are pretty spicy when you don't have good gear.
I can't carry anymore.
But as I was saying, I can't remember like playing this game and like putting in a good farming sesh, even if it's just like an hour and a half, and you know, not getting like some stuff like when I just look back at it and go like, oh wait, hold on a minute. Like when you really add it all up, like you actually get some pretty decent shit. Like particularly in lower Kuras, because it's like I got one good charm that I consider, you know, a valuable charm. I just got a skiller that unfortunately, I don't think it's a particularly good skiller, but like, you know, still a skiller. Could have been a good one. Thank you. But yeah, like at least one. No, two nice small charms. Three, I suppose, if you consider damage. Like a genuinely just like GG pair of boots. Like, yep. I mean, these I don't think these are actually. I think these are my sorceresses, but I put them somewhere. Although honestly, like either of these boots, I'd be pretty happy. Oh yeah. So these are hers, and these are the new ones. And these are actually just better. Like, these are better for Mephisto, but these are better everywhere else, apart from not having Run Walk. But as I said, like, I would just, like, consider those GG boots. Like, I would have been so happy to have them on the bear that I was just playing. Like, just a flat, you know, huge upgrade over Natalia's. Like, again, yeah, losing the Run Walk sucks, but, like, I was wearing a hustle anyway. Oh, another charm. But yeah, we found the Lacerator earlier, found a Vex Rune, found a, now. It's so stupid that they literally outrun fucking projectiles. Like, they just decide to leave, and they just get an engine strapped to their ass. And of course you're cursed, aren't you? You complete wanker. Here we go. Elite base. Take a look. Hose that filthy curse up. Another jewel. You know what I would really like would be, now that I've got my Witchwild string, I need some like really like elite jewels to slap in it. Yeah, let's check.
Hello.
Let's take a look at this. This cool Hydra Edge of quickness. Not exactly, but I appreciate the effort. Not exactly a Ruby Jewel of Fervor, but you know. Yeah, some items there. Some items in the game of Diablo 2 that were identified by me. How about a good skiller? Like, I was just like talking about how like the game like, you know, hasn't done me dirty with like useless skillers and it gives me passive and magic. But honestly, like, I don't know, is passive and magic that bad? It's like dodge chance on 3 different skills, it's attack rating, it's pierce, critical strike. Okay, rare tomahawk. Potential GG item. And speaking of boots, we already have a really good pair of boots, but like here's just another pair of Natalia's just in case you needed them. Another skiller, definitely. We're not quite there, but if that were like ethereal with repair durability and like 133 ED, maybe. Bonk. What did I say about my skiller arriving?
Yes?
Combat spills is decent. I don't think it's particularly great, to be honest, but another skill, please. Oh yeah, I didn't actually identify the Natalia's kind of a bonk roll. But like, hey, if they were the best boots you found, they're alright, there's a rather nice charm. And I want to ID this. Oh, ethereal.
I'm overburdened.
Not the hustle base I ordered, but close. They're trying. Cruel Devil Star quickness? Not exactly. Alright. It's trying. Oof, Another Grand Charm, okay. Definitely. I'll have another skiller, thank you. I kind of want to ID the Ogre Axe, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it takes so much strength to use, but... Take a look. But yeah, like, I'm kind of hyped to do this. Maybe in the coming weekend, literally just like, Saturday is like, grind lower Karas day to gear a new character, and then like Sunday is like just take that new character through hell with like whatever you got, and like from then on that character's just on their own. Like, yeah, they can farm stuff, but like the main thing I would be like really interested to see is just like, you know, how long before you do hit it. And, you know, have to go to the Countess or something.
I can't carry anymore.
But yeah, like, hold on. This, if the game will let me pick it up.
I am overburdened.
Alright, there we go. I mean, that's a smoke base right there. And you can farm the smoke from the smoke runes from the Countess quite easily. It's just like, it's gonna be like a real like death struggle. You know, getting there with like no resistances or anything from your armor, but you know, there's also the possibility of like, you know, imagine you just like farm that armor and then you've got like a Rao rune, a Tau rune that you can like throw over there, like, you know, that you picked up here, and then like you throw over like a Hell rune or something, so they can like socket it with like the basic shit, and then like use that to help like farm their stealth, and then, you know, empty like, you know, clean out the sockets, and then like remake the stealth in it, assuming they haven't gotten sorry, not stealth, smoke. Assuming they haven't gotten like a better smoke base in the meantime. But like, you see what I mean? Like, I love the thought of having to do stuff like that. But like having some sort of like plan and basis to work off, where it's like, oh, okay, I've got this for now. It's okay. And the odds of daggers actually being good weapons is kind of like extra low, because there's a whole bunch of like special garbage affixes that like daggers get for some reason.
I am overburdened.
But yeah, when I say like all of these are potential like end game weapons, it's like, you know, they just
I am
are.
overburdened.
I was actually kind of hoping that might be like an insight base or something, because it would be like a good starter weapon for your mercenary. But also like, because you start in Act 1 Hell, like you can't even get that sort of like, you know, easy access to the Desert Merc, who just like the Desert Merc can patch up so much stuff in your kit. Like he can give you attack rating and attack speed through Hustle. He can give you like AR through Blessed Aim, or he can give you damage through Might, or like big CC through Holy Freeze.
Good day.
You know, he can have Crushing Blow to help with bosses. You know, your Merc is like 100% part of your kit, and the Act 3 Mercs are kind of the best. You know, it's not that the others are terrible, it's just like... the lack of auras really hurts them. And the Barbarians are not that bad. Because at least they have some like debuffs and crowd control and stuff like that. And also they're super tanky.
Yes?
Yeah, just like looking at that thinking, like, alright, could be a lore base, could be a bulwark base.
I am overburdened.
And like bunch of elite bases here. Also, the rogue mercenaries are kind of like they kind of stink to gear, because like you kind of want that helmet on them that gives them pierce, but then it's like, well, then where do you get
I am overburdened.
cannot be frozen and stuff, and where do you get all your resists?
What do you need?
Like, I genuinely think the best way to set up a rogue mercenary is just like give them a bow that has like +3 to bow and crossbow. Like find one that's like a lot of open sockets and just shove it with like shale runes and earth runes, basically. And then just, you know, give them resistances. Or if they're cold, give them Wisendraw, I guess. And 2 sockets. I would probably spend a lot of money trying to get a just try to get a good gamble on a circlet or a coronet for the helm. Like just kind of do that at the end of the day. Just because some of the affixes that these can get, like Jewel Leech or Resists, it's just kind of exactly what you want. Like, ideal would just be like any plus skills and then just like a big chunk of resists and whatever. After that, it's just kind of like, you've done your job. Any, if you give me something else, I'll take it. It doesn't have to be great. Could be like a bit of attack rating, maybe a bit of cold damage, maybe some run walk. Like all these things would be nice. Mana for quality of life or something. Like even if it was just like, just that. The old death's touch. I mean, that's an elite bow, but like... I guess it wouldn't hurt to ID bows, if only because, like, if you could literally just get a bow of quickness, then... your rogue mercenary is just, like, a little bit more useful right off the bat.
I am overburdened.
There you go, no smoke base. Like, that's kind of got to be the armor you would aim for, I think. Because just getting that much resist for free.
I can't carry anymore.
Damn, I just saw the 178% and thought it was a ferocious, which like would have been a totally good mercenary weapon. There you go, another smoke base.
I am overburdened.
Here we go. This is going to be a really good weapon for a rogue mercenary. It's not, but I don't know. I don't have a but. It just isn't. It's just bad. But that's okay. You know, always got to try to tell yourself that, like, particularly when you're picking up magics and rares, is like, it wasn't bad before you picked it up. I don't mean that in the sense of like you made it bad. I mean when you ID it,
Yes?
like that's when you're playing the slot machine. Now it can be anything. It's probably not going to be something good, but the fact of the matter is, if you never ID them, you will never find something good. And if I genuinely made a habit of IDing elite base weapons, even if they are just magic, like, I'd probably have like a bunch of pretty cool ones now, just sitting around. Get out of here, you bums. Yeah, like Spearazon is like, for doing something like that, like a gearing challenge run, like Spearazons are either like physical damage, in which case they're just unplayably weak because they have like no crowd control, and they're amazing at just like bullying stuff in 1v1s because of the slow and the fact that they're Impale like doesn't miss, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, you know. Well, it does, but you know, if you're gonna compare something like an Impalazon to like the Bear Druid that I was playing earlier, who is doing like 10k damage with a two-handed weapon, they're not gonna keep up with that.
Hello.
They're also not gonna have like, you know, 2k life to make up for the absence of a shield. The other thing though is if you go with the Lightning Spearazon, the Chain Lightning, it's almost too easy. Like all you need is some plus skills and attack speed. Like it's just like playing a Javazon. It's not as good, it's not as safe because you know you don't have the range advantage and you can't carry a shield,
I am overburdened.
which is kind of like, don't understand how it was. Like I don't understand the balance philosophy behind that. Like you just think the ability that would that obliges you to like run into enemies while not carrying a shield should maybe just have like better numbers off base than the ability that like allows you to sit back and do damage at range. Yeah, anyway, not very well balanced. But, you know, it doesn't mean does not mean the lightning skills on the spears are bad. They're actually really, really freaking good. They almost never get used, but they're super strong. It's just like, why would you do that?
Yes?
You know, when the option is just there to play the good Spearazon, i.e. the Jabazon, or even just use a Javelin. For the spear attacks. Speaking of which. But yeah, like maybe offend. Offend / jab instead of impale, because I don't think you can use impale with a one-handed javelin, but you can definitely use jab and fend. I think fend. I could be wrong. Maybe I have to test it. But
I am overburdened.
I don't know. That's how I would play a.
I am overburdened.
Like if I had to do a physical damage Amazon, you know, there isn't a Boazon, obviously. Yeah, I'd probably just go jab and fend with javelins rather than
Greetings.
Now I'm kind of tempted to try that. Maybe that will be my next character, because I have some really nice javelins and some really nice shields too. Storm shields, the ward, not the ward, the spirit ward, the elite version. Although that, I think that just requires too much strength. But storm shields. I recently found the Moses, which I think is one of the better shields in the game. Like for just clearing the game, because it's just like one item that can genuinely have like 70 resist hull and then like amazing block stats on top.
I can't carry anymore.
Also, unlike the ward, which looks like absolute garbage. Oh. Cruel of quickness, but let's check my skillers first. That's not a skiller. Neither is that. What's going on here? Man, this game is weird. Honestly, like... Yeah, that's definitely a thing. But the other thing is, like, because you're gonna farm a full inventory worth of gold,
I can't carry anymore.
the option is then there for the character to, like... Oh, that's cool. For the character that you're getting set up, they could potentially just be like, hey, I don't like, you know, I've got some holes in my setup. I know, I'll just shop for a while. Like, shop for a cruel axe or, you know, whatever. At chassis. But I genuinely think this would make for like a really fun run. I need like a name for it though, you know, like. Ooh, really, really nice.
Hey,
Thank you, game. Honestly, like, it's crazy. I love MF. MF is the best thing in this freaking game. And like, just chef's kiss to get more MF. Even a 5%, I don't care. Like, give to me. I'll just put it all on. I can live without that. That's fine.
I can't carry anymore.
It's tankards, which I don't think that has like anything you would actually want.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, got another charm to ID here. Oh, +3 max damage is pretty damn good for a small charm, but maybe hold on to it for now.
I am overburdened.
I don't see too many of them. Man, it's so annoying when you start running out of space. But yeah, like that's a finish the game weapon for a Spearzon that doesn't focus on the physical damage. And not with like any particular fuss either. And obviously proper Amazon spear that gives you plus skills is even better, but not quite good enough. Like, I like where it's going with the attack rating,
greetings.
but we just need a little bit more out of our items than that.
Impossible.
Stash this stuff. Really running out of space. But it's fine. I have to sort the stash out at some point. You know, a lot of it is just going to be like, okay, cube up rooms for a while, cube gems, and then, you know, maybe do some, like, crafts or something, if you've got a bunch spare. Oh, another small charm. This has just been, like, charm day in Lower Kurust. Cannot complain. 2 alt runes.
Not enough mana.
That's the sort of stuff I talk about when I talk about, like, things just not being play tested in hell. Because, like, let's set aside the fact that, like, stuff like that just makes for, like, bad gameplay that you can't really interact with, because it's just like, oh, okay. Like, they may as well, like, they're so fast, they may as well just teleport away, and then they immediately run back, and if they take any damage, like, it's just yo-yoing stupidly and wasting your time. It's not presenting any kind of challenge, but it's not respecting your time at all, and there's nothing you can do to, like, actually interact with it and deal with it. You know, it's not giving you a puzzle where it's saying, like, oh, you know, well, you have to, like, save some big burst damage attack to quickly finish them off before they can run away,
Yes.
or you have to, like, corner them, or what. They'll just walk out of any corner. It literally doesn't matter. They run so fast when they decide to move, like, just leave on hell difficulty. Just don't even worry about it. Even if you have freaking teleport, even if you have range attacks, like, they just run so fast, they physically, like, outpace the glacial spikes and can't be hit by them. And it's like, as I say, let's just not even worry about the fact that, like, it's not fun to play, and it's not challenging in a way that, like, is, like, engaging or presenting you with, like, a puzzle or a problem you have to solve or anything like that. It's literally just like, it's just a stupid mechanic that exists to grief you at that point. And, like, maybe, yeah, it could maybe mess you up if you, like, chase them really stupidly into, like, another pack, but, like, the main thing is just, like, as I say, setting aside all the gameplay and everything, I refuse to believe that someone playtested that and didn't just think, like, hey guys, you know what, it just looks kind of stupid. Like, the monster just, like, zooming up and down, like, bouncing up and down like it's on a fucking yo-yo string, like, covering the entire screen in, like, you know, a second, and then just immediately covering the entire screen in another second. Like, it's just here, it's gone, it's here, it's gone, it's here, it's gone, it's just bouncing in and out. Like, as I say, it just looks stupid. And it's just uninteractable, silly mechanic, which is, like, and it's one of those things where it works perfectly on normal, and it even works okay on nightmare. Because, like, everything is just faster in hell, so then when they get a burst of speed, they literally zoom. Like, they zoom so fast that you can have, like, 80% more run walk, which didn't even exist in the game.
I am overburdened.
That's a freaking Barizo. Terrible roll. But crazy thing to just fall out of a freaking... So, like, when I say, like, gearing a character, like, just one day grinding Lower Kurust. Now, if I did find that, then I would genuinely consider like saying, okay, maybe the character needs to be a boazon, you know. But honestly, like, I don't know, Bariza is a very good bow, but life as a boazon that cannot stack slow is just like a little bit too stressful for me. But I'm almost like so confident that I can gear a character like just grinding Lord Karas for a day. 1%. No. You need to do a teensy bit better than that.
Yes?
But yeah, I'm like so confident. It's like I almost would say like maybe 4 hours then, or you know, some like set time. But maybe I am overestimating it a little bit. You know, you can go a while without even really seeing any elite bases, so it's not like you're getting to roll the slot machine that often. Maybe these little shits are the ones that drop the lacerator. Because I've seen a few winged axes falling off them. Cruel quickness. Okay, alright. Like we're kind of getting into the area we need to be as far as like the ED rolls go.
Good day.
It's not perfect, but nothing is. Another charm. Two Hydra edges.
Anymore.
That's cool. Bugs, can you just land and be killed, please? Be decent about this. A little bit civilized at least. Thank you, kind bird.
carry anymore.
Yes, you can. Be still. I mean, I would keep that charm if this were like, you know, the challenge that I had discussed, because it's not terrible. It's not good enough for me to keep it in mute, but if you're like a brand new character and you don't have a single charm in your inventory, stuff like that would look much nicer than empty space. Yeesh, what is with the charms today? We're just getting like all the charms.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
I was just looking at those boots, so I was thinking like, I wonder if Kicksin would be considered a caster or not. Because if you grinded lower Karas for a while, like you could definitely be guaranteed of finding like at least one elite pair of boots. Oh, okay.
Yes?
Like the second affix is kind of bonk, but like resistol. I like me some resistol. Like I was just talking about how like it would be really nice to have some like good charms to just patch up people's resistances. That will be my cold skiller. And this will be my cruel mace of quickness. It's trying. Aha, okay, this will be my my cold skiller. And this could be my feral axe of quickness. Let's see. No, not a cold skiller. And no, not a feral axe because games can be very weird sometimes. Could be a cruel bone knife of quickness. One way to find out. I think this is going to be my last run though. Unless it's something like I really have to like take back to ID. I'm well past the need to be heading to
Good day.
bed. Bed ways is right ways, as they say. But yeah, I'm still super curious about this, and it's like, do you put all your MF on and like go for broke, like trying to kill all the uniques? Because they can drop a lot of good stuff and a lot of really useful stuff that you're not likely to get out of these chests. Or do you just focus on like hard grinding the chests, hoping for like, you know, a ferocious or a cool rare roll or something on an elite base, and maybe some decent rares with like good dual resist or something. I suppose the way is to just kind of do both, like, you know, kill the elites when they're like nearby and convenient to kill, but otherwise just kind of focus on popping the chests. Oh yeah, so it's like saying if I add something to it, check, which I did, but you know, done and done. Anyway, great bit of lore corresponding. Got a lacerator, needed a second one, can't complain about that. Even like, just can't complain about it. Really nice mess of charms and bunch of runes. Got a Vex rune, got a Mal rune, you know. And I got these skillers, which are like, not the best.